Imagine scrolling through your phone, and out of nowhere, a photo of your idol, Xu Zhengxi, pops up on your feed. But he's not on a red carpet or a movie set. Instead, he's standing in this dimly lit, eerie space with a web of red strings tangled and tied around his fingers. And when you look closely at his expression, he's just completely frozen, staring back with these hollow, lifeless eyes. Now, some people might look at it and say, come on, it's just an aesthetic photo shoot. Stop overreacting. But what if you found out that several other celebs had done photo shoots with that exact same concept, and one of them is now gone from this world forever? As for the rest, they're suddenly plagued by disturbing rumors about body doubles, and psychics are getting the exact same vibe that they aren't actually here anymore. If you were a fan, would you still be able to just brush that off? Before we tear this all down piece by piece, if you want to support Trace Zero so we can keep bringing you deeper, long-form investigations, consider joining Trace Circle. You'll get exclusive stickers featuring my face to use in the live chats and comment sections. I'll see you there. Hi Tracers, Sean here, and welcome back. The red string mystery in the Chinese entertainment industry is far from over, and this time, the rabbit hole goes deep enough to drag in one of the biggest A-list actors we all know. We're breaking down everything in today's video. But before we dive into the deep end, I've got some great news for you guys. Our official merch over at Fort Wall has finally restocked. We've got a total of 8 exclusive items ready for you to grab. I really hope you guys dig the designs, so if you want to get your hands on them, go ahead and check out the purchase links I've dropped in the description box and pinned comment below. On top of that, if you're a massive cinephile and love getting recommendations for movies that are both incredible and mind-bending, you definitely need to swing by and support my wife's movie review channel, Cinewife. I've put the link to her channel in the description and pinned comment as well. Make sure to check it out and subscribe. All right, brace yourselves, because you never know how deep this hole goes. Back in September 2025, a top-tier Chinese star with over 20 million followers, Yu Menglong, tragically lost his life after falling from an apartment building in Beijing. Ever since that tragedy, it started to dawn on us that the entertainment industry isn't nearly as flawless and glamorous as it seems from the outside. In fact, there are a few glaring symbols that instantly put fans on edge and leave them terrified for their idol's safety. Things like the red strings, oversized shoes, missing teeth, and even conspiracies about body doubles. And just recently, the internet was sent into another frenzy when a fresh batch of photos leaked online, leaving fans completely unsettled. Another artist has surfaced with a near-identical photo shoot wrapped in those same red strings. His name is Xu Zhengxi. Let's get a quick background on him first. His birth name is Xu Zheng, but he goes by Jeremy English-wise. He was born in the Huangpu district of Shanghai on the 5th of May, 1985. Back in 2005, he entered the Man's Now Chinese Model Global Contest and took home the championship title. That win became his official springboard into the acting world. From idol dramas to massive historical fantasy epics, or xianxia, he's been the leading man in countless hit series. Audiences fell head over heels for him in shows like The Legend of Dugu, Waking Up Love, 10 Years Late, and The Journey of Chongzi. With a squeaky clean image and powerhouse acting skills, Xu Zhengxi cemented his status as one of the ultimate gods of Chinese drama. His sheer versatility allowed him to rise like a dark horse in a cutthroat industry, sending his career skyrocketing. But in March 2024, he shocked the entire industry by announcing his retirement. The official reason was that his father had fallen ill, and he wanted to step away to spend quality time taking care of him. After a brief hiatus, Xu Zhengxi finally made his comeback to showbiz in April 2025. But by November of that very same year, his Weibo account suddenly leaked a series of photos featuring that red string concept, which netizens are now dissecting piece by piece. If you really look at them, the vibe of these photos is a complete 180 from his usual public persona. The background is pitch black, suffocated by these red strings that look like they're binding and trapping his body. To make matters worse, his face looks totally blank, strained, carrying this heavy, inexplicable burden. Ever since the Yu Menglong case, netizens and fans have become incredibly sensitive to the symbol of the red string. So the second these photos leaked, the post spread like wildfire and sparked a massive uproar everywhere. Sure, some people are saying it's just a piece of art, telling everyone to calm down and stop making a big deal out of it. But a far larger group of people are genuinely terrified. Why? Because we've all seen this exact same photo concept before, and it hasn't just happened once or twice. So, what are we actually looking at here? Is this strictly art, or is it a hidden SOS code that we're failing to understand? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Now, let's rewind the clock for a moment to discuss a few other artists who have previously ended up dead center in the spotlight of this red string mystery. The first artist is Chen Kun. Back in May 2024, this top-tier Chinese superstar was spotted at the Red Brick Art Museum in Beijing. In the video footage that circulated online, his entire body appeared to be wrapped in glowing red strings. The red strings in that room crossed and overlapped each other like a spiderweb, creating a harsh contrast against the striking white walls. That series of photos and clips of Chen Kun honestly delivered a visual impact that was both chilling and deeply shocking. The second artist is Guo Junchen. Ever since Yu Menglong's passing, the media has often dubbed the young actor Guo Junchen as the second Yu Menglong, simply because he had done a photo shoot with a near-identical red string theme. We actually talked about Guo Junchen in our previous episode, specifically how on his birthday last year, he unexpectedly received a deep red birthday cake that looked incredibly eerie. On top of that, the cake was decorated with 5 red hearts, which netizens immediately interpreted as a cryptic wordplay for the phrase, "absolutely no way out." The fans could honestly sense that something was majorly off here, but they didn't have any concrete proof to back it up. And just when everyone was hitting a brick wall, unable to uncover the actual truth, a British psychic, Tai William, released a spiritual message from his vision, and there's a strong possibility that Guo Junchen has indeed passed away. The third artist is Dilraba. As a top-tier, absolute A-list actress in the Chinese entertainment industry, she also surfaced in a series of photos that left fans incredibly anxious and sparked massive public concern. In those photos, the atmosphere is pitch black and suffocated by extremely tight webs of red string, showing only her silhouette as if she's trapped inside. The vibe is a complete 180-degree turn from the Dilraba. The public has always known someone who is usually so bubbly and full of energy. Yu Menglong's sudden passing really forced the public to re-examine the harsh reality of the showbiz ecosystem, and many people have finally started focusing heavily on the safety of these artists. Because Dilraba's photo concept was almost identical to the red string photos of the late Yu Menglong and Guo Junchen, the internet completely lost its mind at the time. To make things worse, disturbing rumors started floating around online about the appearance of someone suspected to be Dilraba's body double. This has led fans to constantly press for answers asking, where actually is Dilraba? Is she really okay? These are the exact questions that continue to weigh heavily on the hearts of millions of fans. According to a spiritual message from Deborah's vision, Dilraba's current situation is far from okay, and there's a high probability that she is in grave danger. And now, Xu Zhengxi has also appeared with a near-identical red string photo. This has instantly triggered the dark memories of netizens and fans alike. What do you guys think? Is this really just a coincidence? Showbiz leaves behind far too many mysteries that still have no definite answers. And precisely because too many truths are being intentionally swept under the rug by powerful forces out there, where that iron fist is still moving covertly, behind the scenes fans are only getting more terrified for their idol's safety. The moment netizens saw Xu Zhengxi's red string photo, a deep sense of dread washed over them. But what they're actually terrified of isn't the photos themselves. It's the terrifying thought that this dark history is about to repeat itself. Honestly, in Chinese culture, the traditional meaning behind the red string is actually incredibly beautiful. According to legend, there's a god of marriage named Yue Lao, the old man under the moon, who ties an invisible red string around the ankles of two people destined to be together. Even if they are thousands of miles apart, that string of fate will eventually pull them together. That's actually where the famous proverb comes from. Marriages are made in heaven and tied by a single thread. On top of that, in local traditions, red string bracelets are often worn as protective amulets to ward off evil spirits, repel bad luck, and pray for safety. A great example is the tradition of tying a red string around a newborn baby's wrist. It's a way for parents to pray and hope that their child will grow up healthy and safe. But nowadays, why do these red string photos do the exact opposite and give people chills, leaving everyone completely unsettled? When netizens tried to dig deep into Yu Menglong's case, they managed to uncover the involvement of the 798 art zone, and that's when a terrifying reality behind these celebs' red string photos began to surface. There are speculations that at the absolute highest levels of showbiz, there's an underground business chain completely hidden from the public. The red strings wrapped around these artists' bodies are suspected to be a marker or a symbol of a specific ritual signaling that they have been chosen and are under someone else's control. Because of this, the moment these photos surfaced and were linked to a string of tragic fates among celebs, the public's perspective completely flipped. A photo that was initially seen as aesthetic suddenly turned into a horrifying nightmare. According to claims made by a content creator named Yu N, the red strings in that art gallery actually serve a much darker purpose. They are used as a spiritual tool to bind a soul so it can never break free. The creator also mentioned that before his passing, Yu Menglong hadn't yet made his declaration to quit the three organizations, known as Tsui. As a result, his soul was temporarily bound by that force before eventually being liberated through a specific spiritual process until his soul finally found true freedom. In our previous episode, we also talked about the spiritual clues from a famous American psychic, Deborah. During her spiritual session, Deborah was trying to figure out how to help these artists who are currently in grave danger. Through that, she received a series of messages containing one crucial keyword: unlisted. Deborah interpreted this word as a symbol for severing ties with a certain organization, and she believes this spiritual step is the only way to stop this cycle of misfortune. Deborah even wrote a specific note emphasizing that the way to halt all this pressure is by weakening the structured forces operating behind the scenes. And it doesn't stop there. A spiritual guide from the Akashic International Center in Canada, Guo Junchen, also tried to look into the timeline of events through the Akashic records. He mentioned that on the day Yu Menglong passed away, the artist was invited to a formal meeting disguised as a public relations event at a highly exclusive private club. The moment he stepped into the room, Yu Menglong was greeted by a group of men dressed in sharp, formal suits, and every single one of them had a specific logo pin attached to their clothes, one that perfectly matched the symbol of a certain political authority. So, if we piece all these spiritual clues together, we can make a pretty bold assumption that the spiritual message Deborah brought up about the word unlisted or unleashed, the real meaning behind it is most likely that the shadow group pulling the strings and pressuring these young artists is actually one and the same with the authorities. If anyone wants to truly stop all this pressure, the only way out is to withdraw and completely detach themselves from that group. That is the only way someone can break free from the grip of the dark circle binding them. The problem is, many people in mainland China previously joined youth organizations or the party back in the day, where they literally raised their fists and swore an oath of loyalty to give up their entire lives for that ideology. Spiritually speaking, this act is seen as handing over your entire fate and future into the hands of that dark, shadowy organization. That's why the single best way to stop all this pressure is to declare your resignation and make sure your name is completely clean and no longer listed within their circle. The content creator Yuan also mentioned that based on the message passed on by the late Yu Menglong, The core message remains the exact same. They must perform san tui, meaning they have to formally quit the party and its youth organizations in order to truly break free from the mystical shackles of the red string. Now, let's bring it back to Xu Zhengxi. As of right now, there actually haven't been any red flags showing that his safety or health has been compromised in any way. Regarding that batch of leaked red string photos, both Xu Zhengxi himself and his management team have stayed completely tight-lipped, failing to give any official clarification to the public. But there is one thing for sure. If you look closely, the timing of when these photos surfaced is honestly incredibly sketchy. Because the dark scandal blown wide open by the late Yu Menglong completely changed how the public views the Chinese entertainment industry. As a result, people now get instantly anxious and paranoid whenever they see those red string wraps. The second a similar photo drops, it immediately triggers a massive alarm among fans. It's totally understandable why we're all worried sick about what's happening to these artists. With just a little more attention from us, our only hope is that they remain safe and sound. Looking at the information that's already out there, Xu Zhengxi isn't the first artist to take photos with red strings, and chances are he won't be the last. But our hope is that through the power of public opinion, we can give these artists an extra layer of protection for their safety. The hope is that every performer can live with dignity, staying healthy and happy under the spotlight. And that pretty much wraps up our deep dive for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me till the very end. If this video gave you goosebumps, go ahead and smash that like button, drop your wild theories in the comments down below, and share this with your friends so we can keep pushing this conversation forward. If you're still watching this, maybe you're looking for the same thing I am.